Welcome to Conversations with Pastor Charlie, a series of candid, insightful discussions offering a godly perspective on current events, interviews with people from all walks of life, and other topics the Lord places on Pastor Charlie's heart. Now here's Pastor Charlie.
Well, howdy. Now, have you ever noticed how easy it is to follow Jesus? Well, that is until you start looking at everybody else. Now, why did they get blessed? Why did they leave the church? Why did they fail? Why do they have it easier than me? You know, the moment we start looking sideways, we stop looking at Jesus. So today I want to share with you 8 words that have the power to actually change your life. What is that to you? You follow me. You know, after Jesus rose from the dead, he met his disciples on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. Peter had already experienced some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows. He had left everything to follow Jesus. He had boldly declared, even if everyone else leaves you, I never will. Then, well, he denied Jesus 3 times. And after the resurrection, Peter did what many of us are tempted to do after we fail. He went back to what was familiar. He went fishing. But Jesus wasn't finished with Peter. He met him on the shore. He cooked breakfast. Now, I just love that about Jesus. Sometimes he teaches us over a sermon, sometimes over breakfast. Then Jesus asked Peter 3 times, do you love me? Now, 2 times Peter answered, Lord, you know I love you. And each time Jesus replied, feed my sheep. Well, the 3rd time that Jesus asked Peter, do you love me? Peter was grieved and replied, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. You know, Jesus wasn't just restoring Peter. He was giving him his purpose back. Then Jesus told Peter something remarkable. John 21, verses 18 and 19, he explained that one day Peter would glorify God even through his death. Then Jesus simply said, follow me. Now, that should have been the end of the conversation. But Peter, well, like a lot of us, did something we all do. He looked around. He saw John following behind them. And Peter asked, Lord, what about him? Now, I want to know if you can picture that. Jesus is talking directly to Peter. And Peter starts worrying about somebody else's assignment. Honestly, that sounds like a lot of us sometimes. Lord, what about them? Why did they get promoted? Why are they so blessed? Why did they leave the church? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Well, Jesus answered Peter with 8 words that every Christian needs to hear. What is that to you? You follow me. You know, those 8 words contain both a question and a command. The question is, what is that to you? The command, you follow me. In other words, Peter, don't get distracted by somebody else's calling. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. Don't worry about what I'm doing in another person's life. You just keep following me. Now, I think this is one of the greatest struggles Christians face today. We live in a world of comparison. Social media makes it even worse. Everybody else's life looks perfect. Everybody else's ministry looks bigger. Everybody else's family looks happier. everybody else's blessing look greater. Before long, we're spending more time watching people than following Jesus. Then there's another trap. Some people stop following Christ because someone else failed. They point to a hypocrite. They point to a pastor. They point to a church member. They point to someone who disappointed them. And they say, that's why I don't go to church anymore. Can I lovingly say something to maybe somebody watching this today? Jesus never told you to follow hypocrites. Jesus says, follow me. Your relationship with Jesus cannot depend on someone else's obedience, because one day you won't stand before God and answer for them. You'll answer for you. Romans 14 says it this way. Yes, each of us will give a personal account to God. Yeah, every one of us. There's no exceptions, no excuses, no pointing fingers, no saying, but Lord, look what they did. Jesus already answered that question. What is that to you? Our responsibility is really simple. Love Jesus, follow Jesus, serve Jesus, trust Jesus, love others. And we need to let Jesus deal with everybody else. You know, when we keep our eyes on Christ, our peace returns. Our purpose becomes clear. And we stop carrying burdens that were never ours to carry. So today, let me leave you with the same 8 words Jesus gave Peter. What is that to you? You follow Jesus. Maybe someone's disappointed you. Maybe someone has failed you. Maybe you've spent too much time comparing your life to somebody else's. Well, today is the day to lift your eyes back to Jesus. Because at the end of the day, the only question that really matters isn't what somebody else did. The question is, are you following Jesus? If you are, keep going. And if you've wandered away, just like Peter, just like a lot of us, Jesus is still calling your name. Follow me. Thanks for joining me today. Now, if this encouraged you, I'd love for you to like it, share it, subscribe to our channels so we can continue growing together in God's Word. So until next time, remember to keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep following Him and have a blessed day.
Jesus is coming soon. Are you ready to meet Him face to face? Are your family and friends ready to meet Him face to face? Please be ready. Then help others get ready. God bless.